కాన్వర్జేషన్ విత్ డాక్టర్ మంజులా అనగాని. డ్రీమ్స్ అండ్ చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి మనం డాక్టర్ అవ్వాలని, లేకపోతే పోలీస్, పవర్ అంటే పోలీస్. సో మనం అది సాధించాలి అనుకుంటాం. సాధించిన తర్వాత ఆ దారి ఎలా ఉంటుంది, ఆ వెళ్ళే మార్గంలో ఎన్నెన్ని అడ్డంకులు ఉంటాయి, నిజంగా సాధించినట్టేనా? అలాగే సేఫ్టీ అంటే ఏంటి? మనల్ని మనం సేఫ్గా ఉంచుకోవాలన్నా, మన పిల్లల్ని, మన చుట్టుపక్కల ఉన్న పరిసరాలని సేఫ్టీగా ఉంచుకోవాలన్నా మనం నమ్మేది ఒక్కళ్ళనే, పోలీస్. ఆ పోలీస్ ఎంతవరకు చేయగలుగుతుంది, చేయగలగడానికి వాళ్ళకు వచ్చే ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఏంటి, ఎవరైనా ఈ పోలీస్ అవ్వాలి అనుకుంటే ఏం చేయాలి, ఇవన్నిటికీ మనకు ఒక్కటే ఆన్సర్. ఎవరైనా సరే ఉమెన్ పోలీస్, షీ సేఫ్టీ అంటే మన కళ్ళ ముందు కనిపించేది స్వాతి లక్రా గారు. వెల్కమ్ టు దిస్ కాన్వర్సేషన్ ఇంటూ మై డ్రాయింగ్ రూమ్.
Thank you. I'm so good, doctor, and nice to meet you.
యా, ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఈ రోజుల్లో, ఇలాంటి రోజుల్లో మనం ఇలా చక్కగా సేఫ్ డిస్టెన్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేసుకుంటూ, బట్ దట్ టు యువర్ కోవిడ్ వారియర్ ఆల్సో. కోవిడ్ వారియర్లు అవన్నీ మనం పక్కన పెడితే కూడా నాకు ఎప్పుడూ ఆశ్చర్యం, మనకి ఇప్పుడు మొన్న సినిమాలు వస్తున్నాయి పోలీసుల గురించి, అవన్నీ పోలీస్ అవ్వాలంటే ఇన్ని టెస్టులు ఉంటాయి, ఇంత ట్రైనింగ్ ఉంటాయి, చాలా కష్టాలు, అమ్మాయిలు అసలు చేయలేరు అలా అనుకునే రోజుల నుంచి ఇప్పటికీ ఏమైనా తేడా ఉందా? అసలు ఎలా అవ్వాలనుకున్నారు?
ఇప్పుడు చాలా తేడా ఉంది. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ నేను కూడా స్టార్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు, అంటే నేను స్కూల్లో చదివినప్పుడు ఐ వాజ్ అ వెరీ షై గర్ల్ అండి. అండ్ నేను సొంతంగా ఎప్పుడూ అనుకోలేదు నేను పోలీస్ అవుతున్నాను. And even my family members, for that matter, nobody even thought, in their wildest dreams, for that matter, that Swati will become a police officer. And but the thing is, after nenu ante UPSC lo nenu చూసి అంటే నాకు police vachindi, IPS vachindi, I never thought second, it never came again that I will take my exam again for mamalga ante people take again for the IAS. But I never thought about that, and it was more for me that it is a divine opportunity, not only an opportunity, that probably God wants me to be an officer. Yes, meant.
I totally agree. We completely relate with that, because nowadays everybody only talks about she teams, Barosa, and they can only think of how it was possible, if not for Swati Lakra. So how does it feel like, when you were training and everything, was it very, very difficult? Because height, and మాకు సినిమాలో మాకున్న నాలెడ్జ్ ట్రైనింగ్ అంటే సినిమాలలో మనకి హీరోయిన్లు కష్టపడటం, పైనుంచి దూకడాలు, అవన్నీ నిజంగా అంత కష్టంగా ఉంటుందా?
నో, నాట్ అట్ ఆల్. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఇప్పుడు మేము మన బ్యాచ్లో మేము 13 గర్ల్స్ ఉండేవారు, అండ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ టోటల్ 80 cadets or probationers rather. సో దాంట్లో ఒక్క అమ్మాయి, అంటే వన్ ప్రొబేషనర్, షీ వాజ్ వెరీ టఫ్ అండ్ షీ యూస్ టు రన్ better than the boys also. So the boys were also, "Arey Sampath bhag rahi hai, let us go after her." So but it was a very good healthy competition, I would say, wherein both the men and ladies and gentlemen, we trained together. We were together all the time. We were divided into platoons and squads rather, and we were at least three girls in a squad of say 12 totally. And it was a very healthy competition, and they helped us, we helped them. So and it is not that we couldn't do. So there's nothing that women can't do, frankly speaking. Right, so we did horse riding, we did swimming, we did everything, and these are just a part of the training. So it's not just physical activity that we have to do. It is, indoor classes are there, outdoor classes are there, and there are very good trainers with us who help us get the training done. And frankly speaking, I feel that if I could have done it, any other girl can do it.
There's one question which always thinks, I always think about it. The reason being that, ఇప్పుడు ఆ టైంలో ఇంత ఫిజికల్ దీనికి ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఇస్తారు, మీతో అన్ని పనులు చేయిస్తారు. దాని తర్వాత వి సీ దట్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద ఆఫీసర్స్ లూజ్ దేర్ ఫిజికల్ ఫిట్నెస్ అండ్ ఆల్. Is there a second, like, every year they have to undergo certain sort of exercises, or it's not there?
Actually, it's not there. We are supposed to do it on our own. I mean, it's we are officers, and we should, maintain our physical health also. And that is a part of why only police officers? Anybody for that matter. General health is important for anybody for that matter. And it was our what we called ustads, they were our trainers, and they were basically head constables or maybe inspectors, but we gave them a lot of regard because ultimately they were our gurus. And even today, as a batch, we are very, very indebted to them because all the outdoor classes were taken by them, whether it was weapon classes or, PT or whatever.
But when physical training is given so much of importance, when you're getting trained or when sub-inspectors are getting recruited and all, why is it not a part of the regular day-to-day thing that they have to have a regular 15-day physical retraining afterwards?
See, as far as the constabulary are concerned, yes, it is there. But for the officer ranks, SI and above, it is not there. And we are expected to maintain our health and maintain our physical fitness.
You think, your personal opinion, should it be there or not?
I think as officers we should be responsible enough, I think, instead of being imposed upon. And yes, maybe there can be some kind of a test or something because of which we can.
Because the reason I'm asking from where it is coming is, as doctors, we keep having these CMEs, where we are supposed to again be in the present day scenarios to keep learning more and more about medicine. Yes. That is the reason this query came from. And coming from Ranchi.
No, so for this, let me tell you, maybe not really for physical fitness, but for other investigations or, the trainings that we do have our trainings, and there are some compulsory mandatory trainings also. But it is mostly for indoor classes and not for physical fitness. Yeah.
So I think once you come into it, you think it's more of the mental work which you people do, right? And there's deductions and all. Now, coming from Ranchi and then was posted in Ranchi, then again getting married and coming to Hyderabad, how did that journey happen?
So actually, as per my merit, I got my home cadre. And I was...
It's a dream, anybody would give, they want their hometown to be the place they come back to.
But frankly speaking, when I was supposed to get married to Benhar, and I knew that if I get married to him, he will not be able to come to erstwhile Bihar because he also belongs to that same place. But again, I didn't think twice, and I was... open to, going to any place in the country for that matter. And so in that way, erstwhile Andhra Pradesh was his cadre. So I landed up because I had to come to his cadre because he could not come to mine. And
I'm sure you're happy.
Yes, absolutely.
Coming to Telugu states, and Telugu people really took care of you and everything. Yes. And in the recent times in the movies or many movies, we keep seeing these autobiographies where they talk about how a woman could do so many things, but still there are hurdles like not having adequate toilets or not able to go in public, and especially with police, lot of physical activities there, let it be a constable or any woman working in the police, whether it is traffic or anything, long time of standing and not able to use. Are there really very less public toilets, or how is it?
See, that is a question. In fact, that is a problem that exists. And at our leadership level, in the police, we have to ensure, at least, for the constabulary, where there are so many, when we are recruiting so many lady constables now, we have to ensure that the basic facilities are at least given to them. So that is why, today in Hyderabad, every police station has a woman's toilet. Now, when I'm saying that, I feel bad because imagine there was no ladies' toilet before. So, when ladies are working there, obviously, so now we have ensured that every police station has a ladies' toilet, and not only that, there's a changing room also now in places where it is possible to have a changing room. So we have come a long way. I mean, initially it used to be bad. There have been times when, initially when as a young ASP, I was also going, along with my team. Like, for example, I'll just give you an example of a time when we were going on, a kind of a round of the jungles also. So we had to stay in the jungle. And there was a tent and there was nobody. I had my gunman and so I was the only lady there. So it's not, I'm now used to being the only lady in circumstances and in rooms and in places. But the thing is, police is a very disciplined force. And when there is a hierarchy and, because I was leading the entire platoon, but yeah. And of course, they were very protective also that, madam is there and she needs these things. So they were the ones who were kind of scouting for any house which was available, nearby, so that I could, go and. So, but there have been times like that which, even I have faced, going to police stations, and there have been very funny situations also where I have gone for inspection, and it normally, as a superintendent of police, you have to travel a long distance to reach that police station. So once I went there and I had to go to the, washroom, and I said, okay, I want to go, and they started washing the, washroom before I could. And I was like, forget it, I just want to go. So, I mean, there are such instances where even I have to face that. But having said that, I know how the situation is. So now we also have mobile toilets for the as a facility for the ladies, because as you know, like bandobas. So whether it is bandobas for the Ganesh Nimajnam, yes, or any VIP visit, and they have to stay in the place. Now they cannot move from the place. Okay. So what happens is men, they kind of, they go and they can go anywhere. But women, it becomes very difficult. So keeping that in mind, now every district has been provided with a mobile washroom. And it's a beautiful, it's a bus with all the facilities. And, whenever this kind of bandobast is there, the bus is parked there. So the ladies can, use it.
Oh, that's a beautiful, I think this is a great change from where you all came. So in continuation about this mobile, I think this is a fantastic thing which has happened in the recent time. How did it start and when did it start and who initiated this?
It all started, in fact, I would rather give the credit to my DGP Mahendra Reddy, sir. Of course, we had a lot of discussions on what are the requirements that women have, and he immediately took it up. And this is a basic requirement, that when a woman police personnel is going for bandobast, she needs a washroom, because the entire day she cannot. There are times when, when we were taking the issues of, the problems that women constables are facing, and when we were discussing this with them, there were some lady constables who also said that they did not drink water, just to ensure that they do not have to go to a washroom. So, I mean, when that was the situation.
And actually, you know, when many people come to us, many from the police force, because we take care of them, many women have a recurrent urinary tract infections. And the commonest cause of kidney failure is recurrent urinary tract infection in women. And this is the main reason. First is this taboo of not able to ask where is the washroom and trying to undercut the need for going there by drinking less water. And the same way, like it is the universal problem. It's not just it is happening in India or something like that. So, in one of the book which I was reading about Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg, she says about incident which happened to her itself when she has gone to a 45th floor in a building, and then where she found that there was no woman toilet in that. So, it is something I think all of us policymakers should be thinking of whenever they want to construct something. So, saying this, I was always thinking, you know, you were posted in Warangal, right?
Once, long time back, yeah. But not as a commissioner or, I was a commandant.
But what was the thing about, how was it? Because that time, those days, Naxalites were still there.
Yeah, but I was fighting Naxalites in Vijayanagaram.
Oh, that side.
That side, not Telangana side. Oh, it was a wonderful experience. It was a different experience altogether, yeah. Yes.
So I remember very well when the start of your when you started working in the Andhra cadre, you were posted in Warangal and then Vijayanagaram, where you had experience of dealing with Naxalism. And so what was your experience? And I know it is physically taxing and mentally more stressful, especially when you are there. It's for the family also more stressful, and listening to the stories of it. So how was your experience?
Basically, see, as SP Vijayanagaram, it was an Naxalite affected area, and during that time, around 2003, 2004, it was the peak of Naxalism. But we tried to, you know, do a lot of work in the villages also, so that we could get the Naxalites out of, the Maoists out of there and surrender to us also. And a lot of good work was done. We were conducting a lot of camps, medical camps, wherein we used to get the doctors, you know, all specialists, so that they could treat the villagers there. Also, we used to get the entire administration to the villages which probably, you know, the administration had never gone. So very interior villages. We used to take the collector also and the entire, you know, DMNHO and all. And apart from that, we also, you know, it was the youngsters who were getting lured into Maoism or the Naxalite problem. So they had to be, you know, they had to be channelized into a more better ways of living. So one thing was that we used to conduct a lot of sports activities. We used to also, you know, help them in getting jobs outside. So whether it was in the police department or whether it was in any other department, whichever, you know, whichever training they wanted, we were helping them in training them, even in as teachers training or whatever. And there were many youngsters whom we could, you know, employ in different areas. So one thing is, you know, activities such as these. The other was, of course, you know, the combing operations that we used to undertake. And especially I as the SP, when we were sending the teams into the field, forests or the areas, it was a very, very difficult terrain, mind you. It was, you know, there were big hills and there were valleys, and it was a different, difficult terrain. But till the time our teams were outside, I used to be on the edge all the time, you know, because, yes, absolutely. Because ultimately, you know, they were my responsibility. And of course, you know, they did a good job, and we could get a lot of surrenders. There were, you know, exchanges of fire also, and we could recover a lot of weapons, and there was of course good work also done during that time. Yeah,
it's wonderful actually. But amount of stress, then you said it is on the families. As a superior, you would be worried about them, and their families would be worried about them. So how do you actually take care of your psychological health and your physical health?
One thing is, I never used to tell such things to my family. Because yes, so because once it is always better to keep them under some kind of ignorance
and security, secure feeling.
Yes, because I know what I am doing and I can take care, so unnecessarily why to make them worry. Of course, having said that, my stress relievers were them. So my children, for that matter. Yeah. So I mean, once I come back from office, play with them, sing with them, dance with them. That's my stress buster.
That's really nice. So I'm sure that everybody has to have something or the other as a stress buster. So do you have any hobby which you would get back to?
Yeah, I do listen to music. I read books at times, and I think, yes, movies.
I think coming to Andhra made you a movie buff, or coming from Rajit? Because I know South Indians, especially Andhra, is like, people for movies, buy the movies, to the movies, everything. They would do anything.
Yes, I do watch movies, English, Hindi, Telugu.
Few which are a hit or something. Yes.
Few, yes. Yeah, the very famous ones, I would say.
Then the she teams happened, Bharosa happened, and the people's Bharosa on police have increased. The way people started looking at the safety aspects of the woman and the fearlessness with which has come, and Hyderabad becoming the safest city, everything happened. So how did it actually start as a revolution in Hyderabad?
See, first thing what we felt was that women should have the confidence to come to the police. Right. That was one thing that we felt was, initially people were a little apprehensive. Right. So the she teams actually, was made for that purpose. And we also ensured that the she teams are not in the police station. Because, there is, because of the, maybe we can say, the British legacy that has been, till now, the kind of image that the police have. It was always that the people were apprehensive of going to the police station, meeting the police personnel. So we felt that the she teams should be a team which will, one is they will be in mufti, they will not wear the uniform when they are, doing their work. Apart from that, their office should be not in the police station, so that women feel comfortable in coming. Having said that, I now feel that our police stations are, we have made them also safer and more approachable. So now, apart from she teams, people can definitely come to the police stations also. But still, women have that apprehension. And that is why the she teams were there. And we tried to give all kinds of platforms, not only coming to the police station, the she teams office, but to approach us through various means, like dial 100 if there is an emergency. We have our mobile application called Hawkeye. They can approach us through WhatsApp numbers, emails, social media. So there were a lot of channels by which we gave the women to approach to us. And that is how people started coming. And when they started coming, we also put it on the social media. we put it, not their names, definitely, it was totally confidential, but how the she teams are helping them, so that any woman who is still on the fence and not able to decide whether to approach the she teams or not will have that confidence to come and report to us. So that is how, we, and of course, another thing which we did was train our she team members. One thing is on gender sensitization, on how to speak to the petitioners when they come, or when the ladies come and tell them their problems, what to speak to them, what not to speak to them. Because, we said that your ideas, your opinion should not...
Yeah, you cannot be judgmental on the other person.
Yes, you should not be judgmental. And any lady who's coming with her problem, first you listen to her, and then we will do our investigation. That is a secondary matter. But first you listen to her, make her sit down, let her be comfortable, listen to her, and then we will do the needful. Because there were times when, it's not that, women are also all, truthful and all. So there were times when we did get complaints, but that is only just probably 1 or 2%, But even that, as a police personnel, these she teams are also police personnel. And we inquire, investigate, and only then take action. So till date, I can very proudly say that not a single person has been punished who is innocent. So we have ensured that, we do the investigation and then only take action.
Yeah, people are really scared because they feel that victims will be victimized when they come there because of the effect in the society. Just to go there, I have known of people who come to us, and when I tell them as a doctor, no, you should go and talk to she team and this thing, they are skeptical. They will say, if we go, our names will come out, then our society issue. And domestic violence it has been normalized like as if it has to be like that. That's the opinion they give them. Husband has to behave like that. A wife has to bharinchufai. The whole thing of bharinchedi bharya, that sort of things, I am like, what? I mean, what are you trying to do with this? So how do you think the whole society and the change in their perspective is going to come?
See, as you said, ante andar mahilalu bharinchunaru, ante kada. So I think that is what we have to teach our daughters also, right in the beginning, that just because you're married to the person doesn't mean that you have to tolerate that person.
Yes.
And next is, you should raise your voice. Yes, you cannot just tolerate and get beaten. That's not, you are not the wife to just get beaten. And that is why even I keep telling, whenever something like this happens, please report. In fact, I keep saying the person who raises hands on his wife is actually a coward. He's actually a coward. And that is why it is important that the woman also should not tolerate this. And another thing is, today women are getting educated, and that is why education is most important. And economically, they should be self-sufficient. Once that financial independence comes, then husband will also be fearful of let me not say fearful, I will say respect. That respect automatically comes, that mutual respect. Now, many people, say that even the women are beating. There are police stations, you go ahead, complain. And what is the percentage of cases where the woman is beating the husband? 1%? 2%? Or even less than that? Yes. And what is the percentage where the husband is beating the wife? So don't compare these things, you are just trivializing the issue, which is not supposed to be done. because domestic violence is a serious issue. And ask me, every day I see women coming of, asking for justice. The thing is, what happens in the four walls, they will only know.
So it's in a marital situation, I totally understand. But when it comes to a child abuse in a family by the relative or own father.
See, let me tell you, 99% of the cases of child sexual abuse happens by people who is known to the child.